Good morning and greetings from Tampa. It's day 87 of Walk with Winston, and I'm happy to be with you again today, and I hope that you are going to make this day the best day ever. We've got today. Yesterday's behind us. All of our past experiences are behind us, and what we have is this moment right now in terms of how we choose to live. So perhaps you have been on the receiving end of some very troubling news. The doctors come back with a diagnosis that you were praying and hoping, hope against hope, that you wouldn't receive. Or the career that you've spent decades to cultivate and build, you're brought in and they tell you you're no longer employed. Or the relationship, the commitment that you made to your spouse, they share with you that they're no longer in love and it's over. These are real life situations that happen millions of times every day. And they're devastating. I remember the second example I just gave is one that I vividly remember having experienced myself 18 years ago. And I had spent a lot of time building myself and progressing, achieving, and to be on the receiving end of a termination notice is, and when you're the primary provider in your family and you've got some obligations that you're in financially, it makes your mind spin in a million directions. Not all of them are very good and productive, right? So this morning on my first part of my walk, I was listening to a message from a church minister that I follow. And I just love listening to sermons on my walks because there's always a word. There's always an insight that just pops into my head and is so relevant for what I'm going through. And this morning, the theme of the message was around how sometimes God uses situations to push us into our destiny. And the minister was saying something to the effect of sometimes desperation is what gets us into our destiny. And so when you get a message like the three that I shared, one can feel very, very desperate and even discouraged. Well, Tony Robbins likes to talk a lot about how we are one decision away from our destiny. And he will use examples like these to say, it's the meaning that we give these decisions, it's the meaning we give these crossroads that ultimately determines our actions. And so how we frame those. So in each one of those cases, are they endings or are they a new beginning? And I'd submit to you these transitions in life, these significant, gut-wrenching crossroads we face in life, I think in our culture we always assign them as an ending. It's very tempting and very easy to assign that these situations as endings. And perhaps today we would be well served by viewing these as beginnings. And what would be our mindset around these significant life-altering situations if we viewed them as a beginning? Doesn't that feel lighter already? Doesn't that feel more hopeful already? And I have not been through all three of these decisions, and many others that are a lot more complex. And I don't mean to oversimplify the emotions that are associated with each of these life-altering events. But I am asking us to consider, as we make these decisions, or as we encounter these situations, to look at it as a new beginning. And then maybe you haven't had one of these big pushes from outside, and you're at a place of indecision. You're at this place of overwhelming confusion. Well, our destiny is really only one decision away. And I think we can look back on our life and see those moments where we could have gone left or we could have gone right. And we took the path, we took right, we went right, and we ran into a person by coincidence who then dramatically expanded our horizons or connected us with other people or magically changed the trajectory of our life. I've had that happen so many times. The current job I'm in was because I took a right instead of a left and ran into my current chief by accident at a conference 100 miles away from my home that I didn't even register to attend. And I'm so thankful for that chance encounter, because this season of being in a corporate environment has substantially reduced the load of debt that was over me and given me new capabilities and confidence. So I'm super grateful and thankful for this season. So whatever you're facing today, let's not be stuck in indecision. Let's assign, if nothing else, let's assign an empowering meaning to this crossroads. And perhaps that will help us make a decision. I've seen some people even resort to the idea of doing a coin flip and letting the fates decide something for them. And then when the coin lands and you viscerally react to that's not what you wanted, well, doesn't that tell you what you need to do? I think that's an interesting way to get to decisions too. So perhaps you feel tremendous opposition. Perhaps you feel that there really are no good options. These aren't necessarily A or B. It could be A and B. Let's keep an open set of hands, an open mind, and just let this unfold, but also be cognizant of that our decisions drive our destiny. With that, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you again soon.